Hello, my friends, and welcome to Italy, a Place to Love YouTube channel. The channel where I like to talk about the good, the bad, the properties, and all we have to know about Italy. So, in today's video, I want to talk about this referendum that we had here yesterday in Italy. People could go to vote up to 3 p.m. today. So they just gave the quorum. We call the quorum the amount of people who went to vote. And so this is what I want to talk. Uh, this is what I want to talk about today. And so there were these 5 questions. 4 there were jobs market related, jobs rights related, and 1 was about the citizenship, to shorten the citizenship from 10 years down to 5 if you want to apply for the Italian citizenship. But today I'm not going into the questions, the topic. The topic is not about to talk about the questions themselves that people went to vote. I want to talk about more about the democracy and all the problems that are related, let's say, with this lack of trust, let's say. But anyway, first of all, I want to tell you, please put like and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds and it doesn't cost anything. And second, that I opened a Facebook group called Italy, a Place to Love. Please join, and you are free to share posts related anyway with Italy if you like Italy. So everyone is welcome to join this group where I also share my videos, and I like also the idea people to connect each other. Anyway, if anyone has a question, can just share it on the group, in the group, and then other people can help each other. All right, so let's enter into today's video, and I start by reading one post that I found written by an Italian, and from this one we can understand already many things, and then I will share my opinion. Now, ignorance is Italy's true emergency. It's a more serious emergency than the problems related to the economy, security, and everything else. Ignorance. So they are stating that ignorance is the biggest problem, bigger than economy, security, and everything else. A country full of ignorant people who are, besides getting older and older, is a decomposing country. It's a country that doesn't have the tools to overcome crisis. Ignorance is convenient for a political party because it ensures easy votes. It's easy to make people who have nothing to do believe that their problem is the immigrant and not the tax evasion. So people who are not paying the taxes. So how does it work out? Never like today, the efforts of all people are needed properly. You need to take by the end those who don't understand the deception and try, with a lot of patience, to explain reality starting from simple concepts, as if you were talking to small children. Everyone takes care of a relative, a friend, who has been blinded by the idiocy circulating these years. Warning, though, they should not indulge or understand because they are not right. They are put to face their condition because those who are not aware of their defects do nothing to improve. I know it's not easy, especially with those older people who refuse to argue with each other out of pride, but an attempt has to be done anyway. Contrast and ignorance must become a priority for all. Good morning. Why why I read this short post? Because this post is coming from someone that is declaring that ignorance is the biggest problem of Italy because Italians are not going to vote. All right. So, and basically they put in the hands of the vote the democracy. Before everything, so even before economy problems, even before jobs problem, even before security and everything else. All right, this is the way people who were promoting the vote were depicting the situation. So I'm an ignorant because I didn't go to vote. Then ignorance is convenient for a political party. Means the other ones are very intelligent, okay? So one political party is made of ignorant people, and the other people are extremely intelligent. Perfect. Who is writing this post is the most intelligent person on the planet. All the other ones, don't let me say bad words, but all the other ones are ignorant. Okay, let's step back 1 second now. Now, the referendum didn't succeed. Why didn't succeed? So, to succeed, a referendum in Italy has to go to vote 50% plus one of the people who have the right to vote. We call quorum. It's a Latin word. I don't know if it's a used word in the English speaking countries, but anyway, quorum, 50% of the one who have the right to vote plus one. Now, how many people went to vote? Now, by the statistic, by the percentages that I see now in live, all right, so only 28, less than 29% of the people who had the right to vote went to vote. So now, this is a very small, let's say 1/3 of the, even less than 1/3 of the people who had the right to vote went to vote. Then consider that Italy is also made of people who don't have the right to vote. Some people maybe who are not who don't have the citizenship, or children, for example, under 18, obviously they don't have, they cannot go to vote. So if in Italy we are 60 million, less than 1/3 went to vote, so it's less than 20 million, 17 million, then deduct 5 million children maybe, plus another 2-3 million immigrants who don't have the right to vote. It seems like 12-13 millions of people went to vote. So now, this is proving only one thing, and I'm gonna explain now step by step. Now, Italian people don't vote anymore. 50% usually doesn't vote. Now, here, because this was a referendum, and so generally in the referendums, if it's not really touching personally people don't really go to vote. But let's talk in the general elections, mainly 50% of the population don't go to vote. Like, for example, in Genova, recently they had the elections to vote for the mayor of the town, and one party was so happy we won, but 50%, only 50%, 49.7% of the people who had the right to vote went to vote. 50% of the people who had the right didn't go to vote. So this party, this person that won, maybe got 20%, even less than 20% between all the population. Anyway, so like me, people generally don't have any more trust in the institutions. This is the major problem that we have in Italy. Now, how can I go to vote? How can I give my vote if I don't trust these people who are sitting over there? If these people who are sitting over there, now doesn't matter if it's one party or if it's another one, but if these people lost my trust, if these people are not able to do anything good, there is another thing. Let me try to explain this concept. In Italy, we need reforms of some institution, some laws, really need strong reforms to improve the situation. But these reforms are not popular, are unpopular, all right? So no one of these parties that are in the parliament wants to do these reforms because they are worrying, okay, because they are unpopular, because they are not really going in favor of the people. Nobody wants to take an action. So it's 30 years that basically Italy is stuck. We should have done these reforms 30 years ago, 25, 35 years ago. All right, we had in 1992 Tangentopoli that was, oh, we reveal the Pandora vase, all the scandals came out, now we're gonna fix everything, the corruption, the mafia, we're gonna fix everything. Nothing has been fixed, simply because these people who are sitting in the parliament, who are sitting in these institutions, don't want to lose their seats, don't want to lose their benefits, don't want to lose their salaries. And me, I have to go to vote. Now, the feeling is nowadays that I go to vote for the rich people, to make the rich richer. No. Once I see that you are doing something for real, something for the people, then I can go to vote. I'm not against going to vote, but I want to see things done, things that have been done for the people, that we see the economy improving. Sorry, the microphone. I want to see things improving. Now, and then here we enter in another big chapter, that is the Italian mentality. Italians are famous to be very artistic people, are famous to be creative, are famous for being full of alternatives. So we are full of skills, and there is one main skill, is the surviving skill. It's called surviving. Now, Italians, if we are still having a good life, is because we have really strong surviving skills. Now, let's say you are someone that would like to come to live in Italy. I give you this example. Or you have strong surviving skills, but really strong, because you have to adapt and you have to be shaped, and you have to shape the situation. You have to bring on your favor one situation and go against something that is not in your favor. So you really have to be, let's say, to have these strong survival skills. If you don't have, that's why Italians, when we go abroad, we find quite easy. For example, the majority of the Italians abroad are doing well. Why? Because we are from this country where, since we are children, we are forced to shape our surviving skills to survive, to have a decent life in this country. Okay? Then, this is, I'm talking about the people, normal people. Then, obviously, you have the rich people who don't care much about this. Anyway, for example, what else I've noticed? That generally, the people who went to vote, all right, to this referendum and to any election, are generally people who don't have financial problems. No, because they have their status. They don't have financial problems. They have a good job. They have properties. They might have more than one property. They might rent it out. So they have incomes from different ways. So they're wealthy. They're wealthy people. Nothing wrong. Nothing against wealthy people. All right. I could be one of these, but simply I don't deny the fact that the people who are suffering are simply forgotten. Then they have these rich people, all right, let's call rich people, wealthy people, okay, who consider themselves, back to this post that I read, that they consider themselves intelligent, they consider themselves already better than the other one are simply ignorant, all right? So that's why, even if I'm, let's say, in the wealthy position, I cannot stand with this mentality that is only let's say, going then in favor of themselves. Then what else they want? They want poor people who lost the trust, people who are desperate, people who are leaving, and there are plenty of people in this condition, to follow them because they are literate, because they are intelligent, because they are poets, because they are smarter, because they have properties, because they descend from a important family. Come on, come on. Don't let me say bad words. Then people feel betrayed. Generally, this is the main reason why people in Italy refuse to go to vote. Because, and they don't even care anymore. They don't even listen people who are telling who doesn't go to vote in Italy. It's not even like me that I still like to discuss. No, these people are simply ignoring. They just have their life full of problems. They have to survive daily, and they decided that, like me, that these people sitting in the parliament doing nothing for the people. That's what they are voted for. That's what their duty should be. No, their duty is to keep the chair warm, to get money, to get benefits, and to get whatever they can get. But the last thing they care is how to help Italian people. All right. Then medium and upper classes are the one that still vote. I mean, I said this. And then, wow, I'm sweating. It's very warm. And then, anyway, yes, we had these questions in let me spend a few words about the 5 questions. All right, just to give you an idea. We had the 4 questions that were jobs related. Workers lost all their rights in the last 35 years. I said in my yesterday video, so how can I believe someone that after 35 years of disasters, I remember in my childhood when there were the workers' rights. I remember I don't remember because I wasn't born, but I remember as a child the fights that people in the 50s, in the workers in the 50s, in the 60s, and in the 70s in Italy, the fight for their rights. Really, I mean, massive protests, massive strikes, massive, massive. And they conquer. They got the rights. But then, in the last 30 years, 35 years, politicians, with the excuses that things are not going well, anyway, they fooled the Italian people. They didn't improve anything, and they start cutting the workers' rights. And when I started working, so I was simply part of this flexible job market. So all I had to know about myself in the future is be flexible, be ready to lose the job, to don't be protected in case you are gonna lose the job, and so on. In Italy, again, we don't have a minimum wage. We don't have, so instead of discussing about a minimum wage, this is what they should discuss: the minimum wage, or increasing salaries. This is what they should discuss. Ask to the people, make a referendum about if there is a 20, 30%, 50% increase of the salaries, which are one of the lowest in Europe, which are one of the lowest in the civilized world, in this world that we pretend to call civilized. All right. Basically, the power purchase index in Italy only decreased in the last 20 years. If you think that the salaries are exactly the same as they were in 2005. So from 2005 to 2025, the people's salaries stayed exactly the same. But did we have inflation? Did the cost of the life increase? Why the salaries didn't increase with increasing of the inflation, which is the rule. I mean, in a sober world now, it's a pity. I'm not gonna enter too much into the economic topic, but because I'm not an expert of economy, but I like to study a lot of economy. I like, in particular, the macro economy, not the, let's say, I'm not good in reading a graph, charts, all these things. No, but to give you an understanding of an understanding of the macro economy. So inflation, it means you have inflation, you also have to increase the salary according to the inflation. But the GDP is not growing. Now, last thing, GDP to increase require three things. Three things are very important for the GDP to grow. Population increasing. If there's no increasing of population, you don't have GDP growing, first of all, because if the population is decreasing, you have less people spending money. That's it. Then invest in education, which we are not doing for the last 30 years. They only cut. The Italian school system was one of the best. When I've studied, everything was free. Partially, even my university was free, but all my secondary schools were for free. And now they're still for free, but the quality decreased badly. If you have a teacher for 30 students, I mean, how can you give a proper education if in a classroom there are 30 students and one teacher? While the classes, for example, should be about 15 students. No, but the government doesn't have money to pay the teachers, and so on. And then invest in technology. If we don't do these three things, so if population is decreasing, to increase the population, you have to support families heavily. And then, believe me, we can discuss about going to vote. We can take everything back and start making a society, properly a society. Up to then, there's nothing we can do. I personally don't go. Maybe I might go just for the local election. When I'm talking about the local, is to vote the major. Now, let's say that in Italy you have the elections to vote the major of the municipality, for the region, for the president of the region, which I don't go, or for the president, or for the prime minister. Let's say the president of the republic is voted by the parliament. The prime minister is voted, but the president of the republic doesn't have any powers in Italy. I mean, he's just there to sign the laws that are passing through the parliament, which the parliament is voted by the people. Anyway, my friends, so back to the post that I read. Ignorance is the biggest problem of this country, okay? Then you are welcome to live you're welcome to come to live in Italy, but prepare all your survival skills. If you are a survivor, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are someone who is able to solve tasks on top of tasks, then yes, this is the country perfect for you. Or you are extremely rich, then it's very easy. If it's not like that, if you are expecting here to find a system that is supporting you, forget about it. I don't want to make anyone unhappy, but this is the reality of Italy, a beautiful country where you have to have survival skills if you want to have a decent life. All right, my friends, I hope you have enjoyed this video. It was a bit too longer than I expected. Anyway, so I'll see you here maybe with a better video, with a more positive video tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye.